All right, thank you for joining us on Rainmaker Training and Coaching. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Happy Wednesday, and let's get started. A couple days ago, I shared a post on Facebook, and I asked, what are your goals when it comes to listings taken in 2023? What are your monthly listing goals? And by the way, if you're here this morning and you haven't set those goals yet, well, then write that down as your first action item from this morning's call. Sit down today and write out your goals for 2023. Now, I want you to be specific when it comes to how many listings you're going to take every month. That's what drives your business. If you're wondering, how do I know how many listings I need to take? Here's the formula that I would use based on today's market. 75% of the listings you take will sell. And if your goal is to close 24 sales, then half of your sales should come from the listing side, half should come from the buyer side. So half of 24 is 12, which means you need 12 listings to sell. And if 75% of the listings you take are going to close, then how many listings do you need to take in order to close 12? Now you know how many listings you need to take in 2024. 2023. I was ready to skip a year. All right. Now, what I want you to do next, once you've set that goal for 2023, is I want you to cross it out and double it. So if you had written down I'm going to take 2 listings every single month, cross it out, it's now 4. If it was 4, cross it out, it's now 8. And if it was 10, cross it out, it's now 20. And if your mind is telling you, well, that's not realistic, then stop for a moment and ask yourself this question. How do you know? How do you know it's not realistic? You think there's anybody anywhere that has ever taken 20 listings in a month? The answer is yes, of course. I've done it, and there's nothing special about me. If I can, you can. Now, what I want you to do next is I want you to write down a detailed description of what you're going to do every day in order to take that number of listings. This is your detailed action plan. In the 12-week year, this is what would be referred to as a lead measure. It's an activity that you do in order to get to the lag measure, which is the goal. And in this case, that's how many listings are you going to take? What is your detailed daily activity plan in order to get to the number of listings you want to take every month in 2023? Now, I want to dive deep into the second part of prospecting. We've talked a lot about making for sale by owners, expired calls, circle prospecting, and we haven't gone really deep into what do you do when you get the appointment. Now, how do I know that? Because I'm having coaching conversations, and I'm having coaching conversations with some of you that believe that the goal of the appointment is to get a listing, and that's not true. You believe that your job on that appointment, if you're talking to a for sale by owner, expired, circle prospecting, you believe that your job on that appointment to see their home so you could potentially bring them an offer, your job on that appointment is to convert it to a listing conversation. And even though that's fine, if that's what you're doing and it works, if you're not doing that and you think that's going to be the plan, I'm going to encourage you to follow another strategy. To me, the purpose of the appointment, if I come to Clarissa's home and I'm looking at her home for a potential buyer, I'm looking at her home, she's a for sale by owner, she's an expired, and I'm looking at her home in case I potentially can bring her an offer. Pay really close attention to the words I use, because there's lots of scripts in these conversations. So if I call Megan and it's, hey, Megan, John Dietz, XYZ Real Estate Company, I noticed you're selling your home. Looks like you're selling it by owner. And just out of curiosity, if I had an offer on your home, would you want me to bring you the offer? Megan would take herself off mute and she would say, yes, absolutely, yes, bring me the offer. There you go, Megan. You did great. Now, pay attention to this. Notice how short that conversation was. I notice your home is for sale. I'm bullet pointing it for you guys. That's what this is. I notice your home is for sale. Looks like you're selling it by owner. If I had an offer, would you want me to bring you the offer? That's really all you need to say. Now, I know there's lots of coaching companies out there that are telling you, ask them where are they moving when their home sells. Ask them, why is that important to you? And even though I think those are great questions, it could cause you to get sidetracked because you can get into a mindset that you're pre-qualifying and you're only going if they're motivated. And to me, I want you to go on every single appointment you can get. If they're not motivated, go anyways. If they tell you they're never going to hire a real estate agent, and if they do, they've already got an agent, go anyways. Your response to that is, I understand it. Does tomorrow at 4 work, or would 5 be better for you? I'm never hiring a real estate agent. Cool. So tomorrow at 4, or would 5 be better for you? I'm only going to pay you 1% if you bring me a buyer. Awesome. Does tomorrow at 4 work, or would 5 be better for you? There's absolutely nothing they can say that would cause you not to go. Make it a standard to go on 1 appointment a day. Holy cow. Do you realize in the next 12 months, you would be face-to-face with 250 potential sellers if you work 50 weeks and 5 days a week? That's 250 people that are in your pipeline that you're following up with forever. What if I told you that 10 to 20% of them will hire you? It's a proven number. It worked for me for 15 years. And if you go on 250 appointments, that means 25 to 50 seller listings. All right. Purpose of the call is to get the appointment. Purpose of the appointment is to, please write this down, is to build a foundation to follow up from. You're going to look for motivation. You're going to build a foundation. You're going to convey, I care about you. You can trust me. I know what I'm doing. Now, when they open up the door, you're not going to say, hey, hi, my name is John. I care about you. You can trust me and I know what I'm doing. No, you convey this in what you do, how you act, whether you ask questions or don't ask questions. If I tell you I'm coming over to take a look at your home so I can potentially bring you an offer, and then 10 minutes after I get to your house, I start having listing conversations with you. Can you trust me? No. Do I care about you? No. I'm here to get a listing. I care about me. That's what they're hearing. So the moment they open the door, hi, Megan. My name is John Dietz. We had an appointment at 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. May I come in? The moment I walk in the front door, the only thing I'm bringing with me is a notebook to take notes and a pen to take notes and my business card. That's it. I give Megan my business card. I have my notebook in my hand. I'm ready to take notes. But before I do that, the very first words that are going to come out of my mouth is, wow, you have a beautiful home and I'm so excited to be here. Now, what if their home's not beautiful? That's a common question I get here. Well, I'm super excited to be here, Megan. Thank you for the opportunity to see your home. And would you like me to take my shoes off before we take a tour of your home? So important. You're going, really, John, take my shoes off? Yes, really. If you walk right past them and start looking at their home, and this is a family that doesn't wear their shoes inside their home, you lost. Appointment over. Now you win whether they want you to take your shoes off or not, because you were courteous, you were nice, you were different. Be different. Megan, what I'd love for you to do is to take me on a tour of your home and show me your home like you would if I were a buyer. Point out everything that you love about your home. Point out updates that you've made to your home in the last couple years. And I'm going to ask some questions and I'm going to take some notes. I'm pointing to my notebook when I'm talking to them, okay? I'm going to take some notes because this is the information I'm going to use to help you sell your home. I'm slowing down for you guys. I'm slowing down for you so you can hear the script. I'm not saying deliver it like that. You're not a robot, okay? I'm going to take some notes because this is the information I'm going to use to help you sell your home. Now, if Megan says, just go for a look, John, and come see me when you're done. No, I really want you to take me on a tour, Megan. It's important for me to be able to see the home through your eyes. The reason for that is because what I have found is the next buyer who buys your home will buy it for the same reason you love it. So I need to know why you love your home so I can convey that to a potential buyer. Now, as we're touring the home, guys, I want you to take notes. I want you to take notes out loud. So what that means is, as I'm walking through the home with Megan, I'm talking as I'm taking notes. Large, great room, wood floors, vaulted ceilings. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. We walk into the kitchen. Wow, I love your kitchen. Granite countertops, maple cabinets, travertine floors, stainless steel appliances. I'm taking notes out loud. They can hear me taking notes. Can you trust me? Do I care about you? Do I know what I'm doing? I'm going to ask questions that a buyer would ask. How old is your roof? How long have you lived in your home? What improvements have you done in the last 5 years? If it's an older home, guys, and you know that the windows have been replaced, for example, ask them, you know, I noticed that you've got brand new windows. When did you replace those? Because it's not okay to market a property as new windows. New windows means they were installed today. They were installed last week, they're not new. So I'm going to ask, when did you install the new windows? We updated, we replaced the roof. Awesome. When did you do that? I'm going to ask, how old is the AC system? It's a large house. How many AC units do you have? Is the downstairs on a different system than the upstairs is? I'm going to ask questions that a buyer would ask. I'm taking lots of notes. Go outside. Pay attention to what they like. If they tell you, South Florida guys, for all of you up in North Carolina or other parts of the United States, you're like, grapefruit trees, what the heck is he talking about? If they tell you that's a brand new grapefruit tree, we just planted it last week, your response is, that's awesome. It's not, nobody cares. And don't even convey nobody cares on your facial expression. Smile and say, that's awesome. All right, it's important. It's important to them. It's important to you. Which leads me to like their home. Please write it down. So important. I can't tell you thousands of appointments that I've been on. I've had sellers say, you know, John, so-and-so is at my house. They didn't even like it. Why would I hire them? My response to that is, I don't know. I love your home. Hire me. All right, like their home. Your job is not to stage their home. Your job is not to tell them what improvements they need to make. Other real estate agents do that. Be different. Other real estate agents think that that's how they show their value, that they know what they're doing. They walk into the house and they start picking it apart. That's got to go. That's got to go. We got to sell this. That's got to go to storage. Oh my gosh, what were you thinking? Pink walls and purple fuzzy carpet? Holy cow, this has got to go. That's other real estate agents. It's not you. Now, when you walk into that room with pink walls and fuzzy purple carpet, and they say, I was thinking about painting this room and replacing the carpet. I'm going to give you the shortest script I'm ever going to give you. The script is, I would. That's it. I would. Because they're going to ask you, what do you think? And you're going to say, I would. Super simple. Now, if you want them to acknowledge the repairs and the updates that need to be made to the home, let me get back to the front door when we first walked in. Megan, as we tour your home, I'd love for you to point out everything that you love about your home. I'd love for you to point out all of the updates that you made to your home. And also, if you didn't sell, if you were going to stay here another couple of years, what additional updates would you make next? Now, as Megan is taking me through the house, she's pointing out the updates that need to be made, not you. Super critical, important. All right, we've toured the entire home and we're standing at the front door. Pay really close attention because this is the most important thing that I'm going to share with you today. I haven't said anything to them about listing their house. I've barely even asked them motivation questions. You know, Megan, by the way, when your home sells, where are you moving to? Great question. Ask it anytime during that you're there. When they say, I'm moving to Atlanta, what's in Atlanta? Family. Great. How soon do you hope to be there? Those are the only questions that I'm asking. Now, before I leave, this is where I set the stage for what happens next. I'm going to, by the way, if anybody's wondering why I keep on talking to Megan, because she's the only one with her camera on, at least on this screen. Let me go to the next screen and see if I've got somebody with my camera on. Nope, 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 and nope. All right, so Megan, I'm coming back to you. All right, we're at the front door. Megan, before I leave, is it okay if I ask you a couple questions?
Yes.
She's going to say yes. I've been on thousands of these appointments. I've never had anybody say no. No, you can't. All right, Megan, first question. You know, in my experience, whenever I'm meeting with somebody who's selling their home by owner, and I'm going to change that for an expired listing. In my experience, whenever I'm meeting with somebody who had a listing that didn't sell, back to the buy owner, they usually have a game plan for how long they're going to sell their home by owner before they hire a professional like me. Is it okay if I ask you what your game plan is?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the answer you're going to get, by the way. You're going to get, yes, it's okay. So pay attention. Here's the response to yes. What's your game plan?
Probably 1 month.
1 month. Got it. So if your home doesn't sell in the next 4 weeks, you'll start looking to hire a professional like me, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I'm positive it's going to sell. It's absolutely beautiful. Make sure you say that. You're not there to list their home. You're there to sell their home. Bunny trail. I would rather bring a buyer to this property and sell it than list it anyways. And I'm going to tell you that if you're selling the house. If you think I'm here to list your home, let me explain something. I'd rather bring you a buyer than list your home. Here's why. If I bring you a buyer, you're going to pay me 3%. You've already said so. And if I list your home, if you hire me to sell your home, by the way, those are 2 embedded commands, back after back, okay? If you hire me to sell your home, I'm going to spend money on marketing, advertising. I have holding cost. It might take 30 days, 60 days to sell your home. There's cost involved. I'm making less money than I would if I just brought you the buyer and sold your home. I'd rather sell it anyways. Now, Megan, before I leave, one more quick question. Most homeowners are selling their home by owner or selling by owner in order to save on the fee. Is that true with you?
Yes.
Makes sense, right? And I know, Megan, when we talked on the phone, you mentioned that you would pay a real estate agent like me 3% for bringing you a buyer.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So the difference between selling your home by owner and working with a professional like me is just 3%, not 6%.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. This is where you get quiet, because I want you to give them time to think about that, because most of them have not thought about this. If their asking price is $500,000 and 6% is the rate, they're calculating 6% of $500,000 as the cost to sell their house. In other words, it's going to cost $30,000 to hire a realtor. Not true. It's only going to cost $15,000 to hire a realtor because they're already spending $15,000. And you could share with them that statistically, according to the National Association of Realtors, when a for sale by owner sells, 90% of the time, there's an agent representing the buyer. So only 10% of the time is there no real estate agent involved in the transaction. So if you decide to sell your home by owner, you've got a 90% chance that you're going to pay at least 3%. Now, if I could sell your home in less time and sell your home for at least 3% more than you could, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that?
Yes.
The curiosity question, guys. I didn't ask her if she wants to list her home. I asked her, are you curious? Are you curious? If you've got the resume, use it. In other words, if you can say, if I could show you how I'm selling 5 homes a month in less than 30 days for an average of 99% of the asking price, would you like to see how I would do that? I don't want to list my home. Cool, I get it. I'm just wondering, are you at least curious what I would do to sell your home in less than 30 days for 99% of the asking price? Now, if you're not that agent who has that resume, then use we. In other words, you're part of a team. Wherever you are, you're part of a team. Everybody on this call is part of a team. If I could show you how we are selling blank number of homes in less than 30 days for 99% of the asking price, would you be interested in seeing how we could do that? Now, by the way, I'm only going to ask that last question if I see motivation. If I don't see motivation, I'm going to ask the same 2 questions every time. In my experience, when someone is selling their home by owner, or when somebody has a property that didn't sell that should have sold, there's usually a period of time before they consider hiring a professional like me. Is it okay if I ask you what your game plan is? Now, on the for sale by owner, I'm going to ask the second question, which is, in my experience, most homeowners who are selling their home by owner are doing so in order to save on the fee. Is that the reason you're selling by owner? Yes, that's it. Absolutely, makes sense. And if somebody brought you a buyer, I know you would pay them 3% because you told me you would pay me 3%. So the difference between selling your home by owner and hiring a professional like me is just 3%, not 6%. Let it land. You're dropping a bomb. You're walking away. Let it land. 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Make sure there's silence. And then close with, thank you again for showing me your home. You have a beautiful home. I'm positive it'll sell. Before I leave, I just want to let you know I'm really good at follow-up, which means I'm going to stay in touch. I am super persistent, but I'm not pushy. And if there's anything you need, I'm just a phone call away. That's it. Make it a great day. Goodbye. Now they're in my pipeline, and I'm going to follow up with them once a week for the first 4 weeks. Hey, Zach, John Dietz, following up as promised. Thank you so much for the opportunity to see your home. Just wanted to check in and see how are things going. How's the activity? What kind of feedback are you hearing? Have you had any offers? Call number 2, the following week. Hey, Zach, John Dietz, following up as promised. Just checking in to see how are things going. Is your home still available? Pay attention to how he answers that question, because you're looking for motivation, and motivation shows up as frustration. And if I hear Zach say, yeah, it's available, kind of surprised, thought it would have been sold by now, doors open. Now, Zach, if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. However, if you were to hire a professional like me, you would want to hire an aggressive agent, wouldn't you? Now, who's going to say no to that? No, I want to hire somebody who's going to be lazy. Yes, they want to hire an aggressive agent. So, Zach, if you were to hire a professional like me, you'd want to hire an aggressive agent, wouldn't you? So if I'm being too aggressive, please forgive me. However, it sounds like you might be thinking that it's time to hire a professional in order to get your home sold so you can move to Atlanta and be with your family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. My response is, cool. If I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? Right? Now, what if Zach is one of those people who told you when you first made the call, they have somebody that they're already hired, and they tell you, well, you know, John, as I mentioned before, I've already got an agent. Cool. I understand. And you don't owe them anything. And you certainly don't owe me anything. But you do owe yourself the opportunity to hire the best agent for the job. Wouldn't you agree? Again, who's going to say no? I want to hire a lousy agent. You're asking tie-down questions. You're playing checkers. You're not playing chess. And I don't make a move unless I know what the next move is on the other person's part. And I'm setting them up to say yes. And all it'll take is 30 to 60 minutes. And at the end of that time, at the very least, you might have learned one new way to get your home sold, even if you don't hire me. And what do you have to lose? Don't hire me, but at least sit down and listen to what I can do to get your home sold in less than 30 days for 99% of the asking price. All right, Lisa, talk to me.
Morning, John. I've actually got an appointment this morning that I'm going to at 9 o'clock, and it's been brought forward an hour, so I'm kind of on the panic now. And it's recently I looked at the old listings from when she bought it, and I've noticed this is actually a cancelled listing, but she's reached out to me based on a referral, so that's fine. You know, I don't feel like, do I approach the subject about why she cancelled the listing with the previous agent? It was only listed for 2 weeks with the previous agent.
Yeah, it's a great question, Lisa. My answer would be it depends. I wouldn't approach it up front. I would ask curiosity questions about why she's selling, where she's going to move to, why that's important to her. I would ask, you know, in my experience, when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually comes down to one of three reasons: price, presentation, or marketing. Just out of curiosity, which of those three do you believe is the reason your home wasn't selling? If you ask that question, you're going to open the door for her to tell you what she didn't like.
Yeah, no, that's great. She's really super motivated. So, you know, I've got a price idea in mind that's going to get it for her. She's really motivated to sell. So that side of things is kind of fine. I kind of personally want to know why she didn't use this other local agent. I don't know the agent very well, so it's not too bad. But I just want to be sure that she goes with me, because I'm the professional that she needs, you know, on this one.
Well,
don't want to make a mistake.
I hear what you're saying. If I'm right, I'm hearing you say, I want to get the listing, number one, and I don't want her to cancel with me 2 weeks later. I want her to sell with me.
Correct.
And the question I would ask you is, the price that you have in mind, how does that compare to what she was asking before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the price I have in mind is slightly less than what they had listed at before, but I know that she's comfortable with that price after having a chat with her yesterday. So, and she's even prepared to go a little bit lower. So, I'm comfortable and confident that she won't. I don't think it's the price that the previous agent. She mentioned a few things, but not very broad opinion of the other agent. And she likes me that I'm not from the Midwest, so that's got to be good.
Not from the Midwest? I thought you were.
I know.
So, love your accent, by the way. I could listen to you talk all day. Yeah. And if it was 2 weeks, it probably had more to do with service and expectations that weren't being met. So have an expectations conversation with her would be the next thing I would say. In other words, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not great and 10 being awesome, what needs to happen in the sale of your home for you to feel the experience was a 10?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
This is the question. Write it down. Okay. And go deep.
I will.
Go deep. It's probably going to be service based on canceling in 2 weeks. Ask her, what does that look like to you? I want really awesome communication. Well, that doesn't tell me a thing. By the way, don't say that to her. That's me and you. I could just see that. That doesn't tell me a thing. No, don't do that. Ask her, what does great communication look like to you? Give me an example. And then when she tells you, ask her, why is that important to you? What does that do for you? Right?
Yeah.
If you leave me a message,
I'm confident with my
Do
communication.
you expect me to return your call? Why is that important to you? What does that look like? Right? When they give you one expectation, ask again. If we could accomplish a second goal so that this was a 10+ experience, what else needs to happen? She's going to tell you. Write it down and then ask her, what does that look like? Why is that important? What would that do for you? You're being a consultant, you're being a professional consultant. Look at this appointment like you're going to the doctor and you don't feel well, and the doctor is going to do what? She's going to ask you questions. Now, the previous realtor possibly was just the doctor who says, okay, welcome to my office, jump up on the table, we're going to open you up, we're going to start operating. You're like, no. All right, I hope I helped you, Lisa.
Yes, you did. Thanks so much, John.
Got it. All right, guys, raise your hand if you've got a question. I'm reading the chat right now. So Megan puts 201 people in your database that you're systematically following up with equals 116,000 GCI. Write it down, write it down, write it down. It's fact. Absolutely. You know, it's interesting, guys. If I told you, hey, I've got this job I want you to do, I'm going to hire you. And here's what the job is. I want you to call people until you get one appointment a day to go see their house. Then I want you to go. I want you to do a great job of conveying that that you care about them, they can trust you, and you know what you're doing. And then I want you to systematically follow up with them until they sell their home or list their home with another real estate agent, or they hire you, right? Now, that's the job description, and I'm going to pay you $120,000 a year to do this. I know there's a lot of you who would raise your hand and say, me, I'm in. By the way, you want to double that? Make calls until you schedule 2 appointments. Go on 2 appointments a day, and then systematically follow up until they hire you, list with somebody else, or sell it. Now you're going to make $240,000. By the way, you want to triple it? Keep calling until, okay, I keep doing that for a while. You're bored already. All right, when you get the appointment, what do you do to show them how you will sell their home faster than any other agent? Kiara, hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I think I am. You're conveying that in how you behave on the appointment by showing up on time, by being dressed like a professional, by being different than the other real estate agents, by showing them that you are great at follow-up. If you go back and you listen to the recording of this, listen to how many times I said, I'm really good at follow-up. It's super important to them. Matter of fact, it's one of the most important things to them. One of the biggest complaints that sellers have when it comes to listing agents is they never call you again. They sign you up, put a sign in your yard, pray somebody else brings a buyer, and never call you again. You're not, that said, you're not going to convince them on this appointment that you're the right agent for the job. You're going to lay the foundation to build a relationship, to create emotional proximity. So when they're serious about selling their home, they hire you. All right. I hope I answered your question. By the way, you can take yourself off mute, guys, and talk to me. Robin wrote, Robin, you're going to have to jump off mute and talk to me. I'm not sure I understand that one.
That was in relation to that lady that was getting ready to go on that listing appointment. Like, we're in a different market where that seller could be of the mindset that her home should have sold in 2 days. And so she was pissed off that it didn't sell in 2 weeks. And so what I like to do, what I was saying to that lady, is show her current days on the market of homes and current, how quickly did homes go under contract, or how quickly did homes close in the last 30 days versus the last 90 days, because it's a different market than we've been in. So I was just adding to your wisdom, John, of just, the reality of it being a 2-week deal, unless you're lowballing, unless you're really going low, which it does sound like Lisa did an awesome job of getting the lady to come down. Anyways, it was just a thought. That's what I do on my listing appointments as well, as I add that information in.
There you go. Yeah, by the way, guys, when Robin talks, stop and pay attention. She is a rock star real estate agent. She sells a lot of homes. She knows what she's doing. Really pay attention to what she says. Thank you, Robin.
Well, and pay attention that I'm on John Dietz's call, because he's dropping value. So, like, yes, I'm a veteran. Yes, I do really well, but you're reinforcing everything I know, plus you're teaching me more. And so I value these minutes. Thank you.
Carla, to your question, a WWREA. I'm gonna guess that's an agreement that lives in another state.
That's the work estate agent. It's just the one that says the roles of the real estate agent. It's not a contract, but you're in North Carolina, you're legally obligated to present it at first mention of money. And so that's what, I don't know what the question was, but that's what she's talking about.
Well, there you go. Then if you're talking home value, you're gonna have them sign this agreement.
John, it is for both buyers and sellers in North Carolina. Any kind of confidential information, so like motivation, just anything that's going to inhibit them getting max dollar. So if you're not getting a listing agreement and you already know their motivation and possibly their bottom dollar or what they want, then that kind of can affect. So just wondering, when would I, as a North Carolina agent, present that to them going on that first appointment? Because they are giving me information that could ultimately backfire on them because they're giving me information if I know their motivation. Because if I have a duty to a buyer, a fiduciary duty to a buyer to get them the best dollar or best amount on the house, and I know the motivation and the seller's wanting to sell quickly, then I could, ultimately, I'm not going to give them top dollar if it's been sitting there, they're doing for sale by owner.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of am conflicted on how to approach that.
If you want the North Carolina, I can help John, but you go.
I was gonna say, Robin, what would you do?
So what I typically do, especially if I'm newer, when I was new, I just brought it with me. Everybody just brought printed it off of my printer, and it you're gonna talk about, like, it at some point the person brings up the word buyer's agent or seller's agent, then I just using my personality, I'm like, oh, I'm glad you brought that up. This is a form. I'm supposed to legally present it to you. It explains all the different roles. Right now we're talking about, if we use John's script, right now we're talking about that I would be a buyer's agent, bringing you a buyer. If you ever do list with an agent, then there would be a listing agent, and there could be a dual agent. I could be both, where I represent you and the buyer. So this is not a contract, but it is a legal thing I have to present. So if you can, if you guys sign it, and look right here on it, it says this is not a contract. I just keep this for my record so that the real estate commission knows that I'm doing my job. So yeah, I would present it at the time, or you can say, hey, I'm going to send this to you today and explain to them what it is. But if you're mentioning, my rule is, if you're mentioning money, I don't care about motivation as much, but I always go by money. If we talk money in any way, I got to send that form or bring that form.
Yeah. Great job,
Gotcha.
Robin.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Robin.
You're welcome.
I like the fact that you have that, right? And, immediately I'm going to, where's the strategy, John? How am I going to play chess with this question? How am I going to use this strategically in order to help them and in order to get the listing? One of the things that I would tell people all of the time, whether for sale by owner or expired, I'm sitting at the listing table. One of the reasons so many people hire me is because I am a great negotiator. I am really good at negotiating. And you actually have two choices. You can hire me and I'm negotiating for you, or hire someone else and I'm potentially bringing the buyer to your home and negotiating against you. So do you want me to negotiate for you or against you?
I like that. That's awesome.
The other piece you could throw in to kind of throw other agents under the bus, but not really, is tell them if they've spoken to any other agents, the legal professional thing to do is to have brought this form up to you. And if they haven't, that's significant. But what I will say about me is I am professional. I am ethical. I want to make sure we're doing this legally. I want to make sure you're protected. I'm protected. And so here's this form.
My gosh, watch the recording over and over and over and over again. It lives on YouTube, by the way, if you're not sure where to find it for now. And listen to what Robin just said. Write it down. Repeat it. All right, Clarissa, take us out.
Good morning. Maybe tomorrow you can go through again, because you went over it quickly last week, how you determine the number of actual conversations you need to have after you do your lead generation model. After you plug in the numbers, how do you determine how many conversations you need to have daily?
The economic model that Clarissa is referring to is in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And the economic model ends with how many appointments you need to go on in order to earn the amount of money that you want to earn. The beginning of the economic model is this is how much money I want to make. The end of the economic model is this how many appointments I need to go on in order to earn the amount of money I want to make. And then the lead generation model tells us how many people we need to speak to daily in order to get the number of appointments that we're looking for. Did I get that right, Clarissa?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, tomorrow we will go over that. All right, so with help, I created a new Rainmaker Plus page yesterday. It is a private page only available by membership only. The cost to be a part of that community is going to be $25 a month. I've spoken to you all about this before. We've had over 200 people register already, by the way. And I just want to let you know this is going live in January. January 1? No, but it's going live in January. And it's going to provide additional value. We're going to practice some role play scripts daily. What does that look like? When this call ends, we're going right into script and role play practice for everybody who's part of Rainmaker Plus. It'll be a different Zoom channel. So I'm not going to sit here and kick people off. It's going to have a different channel only for people who are registered for Rainmaker Plus. There's going to be all of the videos that I shoot from these calls are going to live on that channel going forward. So my YouTube page is not going away. However, these recordings are not going on YouTube any longer. I will still post to YouTube, but it won't be daily. It'll be weekly. There's going to be a lot of other things that are going to be provided in Rainmaker Plus. And the cost is only $25 a month. And in doing my research, evidently there's people who are charging a lot more than that for similar programs. I'm not going to change the cost. It's $25 a month. My vision is I want to make this affordable for everyone. And but by definition, what does everyone mean? Well, it's everyone. Everyone that wants to be a part of this. If we have 2,000 people on it, then great. I want it to be affordable. How do you register? For now, drop your email in the chat or text me at 727-686-0404 or email me at coachjohndietz@gmail.com and I will add you to that list of 200 people that we have so far. Paige, you had your hand up. Talk to me.
Oh, yes. So, let me close this. It was that question, where do I find Rainmaker Plus? But you just answered it.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, girl, you got it. 727, somebody asked me to repeat. 727-686-0404 is my cell phone number. My email address is coachjohndietz@gmail.com. And you could always drop your email in the chat. There's several of you who are doing that right now. And I will give you more information as it comes to me on a start date for Rainmaker Plus. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of additional things that we're going to do throughout the year that will be membership only. Some of those things will be fun activities. I'm really looking forward to the possibilities of what this is going to be able to do for all of us. All right, everybody. I'm going to save the chat again because you guys are just...
I have one quick question.
Talk to me, Michelle.
How long do these last? Like, are they 30 minutes, an hour?
Oh, this call that we're on right now?
No, not these, the Rainmaker.
Yeah. The daily calls for
Mhm.
practicing and role-playing scripts will be 30 minutes.
Awesome.
There'll be other additional training opportunities for everybody who's a part of that community that will be scheduled monthly. So you'll get notifications that there's a Listing Your Way to Success class being taught on this date between 2 and 4 p.m. in the afternoon at no cost. It's just to members only. Did I answer your question?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Good job. All right, everybody, make it a great day. I will see everybody tomorrow morning. I'm back in Coral Springs tomorrow. Leaving Dunedin, very sad, leaving Braden. I will see everybody on Zoom tomorrow morning, 8:30 sharp. Make it a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks so much.
Have a good one. Thank you.